quick little comparison here. You have the WWE version of the Smoke Skull. This top one, it's on a stock strap. Shops, synthetic leather. You see all the stitching. This one is my prized possession because of that right there. Very cool getting to meet him this last year in New Orleans. I took it upon myself to give this one a go. Do a re-leather on it. Signature there, Dropkick Leather. A lot of research and studying as I can, finding old pictures and memorabilia of the actual belt. This is something that not too many belt guys are actually doing. They tend to go Jamar style all the way up to here, along with his signature stamp. But if you look back to what Awesome is actually carrying to the ring, that little bit of a difference right there, that little etch, little angle piece of tooling right there, synonymous with that belt. And that tight inlay tooling around that fourth plate there. The cut also around here is very tight on the TV version of this belt. Also, I don't have a tip. I use my symbol. The back of this, show you guys a stock strap. It's a different color. It's what was available at the time that I found I could get quickly. I do it in any kind of back end that you guys want. You can find the color. Just take a little bit longer to get that one. It was not as readily available. What I wanted more than anything was the texture. So if you see this in the stock strap, let's see if I can get there. Flat. There is no texture. This just got the imprint. But over here with my backing, that's what I wanted. I wanted it to feel like scales, and this does. This is very cool. Turned out really good. You might notice this one is very, very, very floppy. This is actually a test cut. It's a piece of leather I got on a good deal. This is actually only about 6 ounces. It's a lot thinner than what I normally use or will use in the future. I was actually impressed with the amount of detail I could get with the imprints tooling this thin of leather. It worked out, and it works with this belt just because it is such a light plated belt. You know, this thing is just tiny. It's 2 mil. There's nothing to it. So it could definitely handle that, but for the most part, I use much thicker leather, like on the network logo here. You can see the difference. Let's throw it up there real quick. You can see the difference in thickness here. Yeah. But that's the type of leather you need to handle plates that weigh as much as these do. Restoning just adds a little more to it. Overall, very stoked with this one. It was random. Pretty happy with how it came out. Stay tuned, guys. That's the next one. I'm gonna try to take a little more detail with this, get some videos, show you guys a little bit of what goes on without giving away everything. But like every craft I've learned, I believe Tricks of the trade, a lot is earned. You know, I've spent countless hours researching, learning all this, because as a lot of you might know, there's not a whole lot of help. You gotta just earn it, basically. Just because you know how somebody does something, it doesn't mean that you're gonna do it better than them. And I really believe that. You could give out all the tricks of the trade, but there's only a select few that are going to dedicate the time and energy and money and effort into actually learning this craft. There's only so many releathers out there right now. There's room. There's room, guys. I don't mind giving away some stuff. I'm not going to give you every detail because I worked my ass off figuring it out. But if you're serious and you're willing to put in some money to work on getting a collection like this, you'll need all this to start, but you need all this to knock out some really nice belts. And as I get doing this more and more, my quality's coming up, and I'm dedicating myself to this. My OCD tends to love this. I've done restoning, as you see with that belt, and it's nowhere close to as good as what Richard puts out, and the extent of time and effort it takes is just a pain in the ass, to be honest with you. Absolute pain in the ass. The end result is absolutely beautiful. Even when the stones are off a bit, it shines like no other, especially when you have this out. You got it on a nice leather like this. Amazing. But I just found myself working at restoning, and that's not what I'm looking to do. I work full time for a living, managing people. I'm not looking at working on something that I consider a hobby. Leather, man, it's soothing. I don't know why. Because don't get me wrong, it is a pain in the ass still. So much work into the prep, honestly. I mean, the tooling, everybody thinks is the tedious part. Tooling is the joy. It's the peace. Because the time it takes to properly prep these, have everything square and level and straight, that is the hard work, in my opinion. You know, I was able to pick it up. I say just because of my fabricating background, that's kind of the trick of the trade is square and level in that world. And you kind of lay out this like you lay out a sheet of metal. It's no different. But you got to be meticulous with it. Otherwise, you guys have seen a lot of leather work that's out there that is not up to par. It's not anywhere close. Doesn't look anything like it should look. Doesn't feel like it should feel. You should be able to glance at this and, like, I'm really proud of this. This is very thin leather, but my impressions pop. And that's something that I won't teach, because my first 3 belts, I wanted that so bad. Because I see all the top dogs, whether it be Paul and Ron and Ryan and all these guys and everything that they're doing, it pops. It's 3D looking, and I couldn't get it. I don't have one with me right now, but I'll pull out one of my first ones. I couldn't get it for the life of me, and kept studying. A lot of leather work that wasn't related to wrestling belts, and that's where you really find out some of the tricks of the trade. And even when I found the tricks of the trade and how to do this, it didn't mean shit. It's scraps like that. It's tooling on extra stuff that I have. That's how I actually found out how to do this. And by all means, it's not perfect, but it's just night and day difference from the first time I started tooling. Night and day difference from the first belt that I made. And it'll only get better from here, I believe. So time is the biggest thing that I could tell anybody. Put in the time, put in the work, just keep tooling. There's no other way to get better at this than to just practice. You gotta practice. There's tons of practice. But I definitely don't want to keep secrets outside of little things like that have taken a very long time to master. Out of respect to others too. I mean, people put a lot of time, money, effort into this themselves. I'm not giving away everything. It's just not fair to them either. But I will help out people that are willing to put in the effort, to show the initiative, that they actually give a shit more than just, hey bro, where'd you get those from? Hey bro, how do you do that? What tool do I get to make that happen? It doesn't just work like that. You see here, I use these on a regular basis. There's a whole stack of shit in here. Those are all ones that I bought that I thought were what I needed. They're not. They don't work well. They suck. You learn as you go, guys. You learn as you go. Definitely help people. Definitely interested to take you guys on this ride with me, because I'm having a damn blast. I really am. I'm enjoying this. This is fun. And it's cool seeing it come to life. And then go back and watch some tape and see the superstars actually wearing these things, you know? Going back, watching Austin and Rock's feud, and this thing ended up in the river, and just seeing as much the detail close up as I could, and know that this is the same type of tooling that was on that belt. It's awesome. I mean, weekly right now, every time Kofi comes out with that, it's sitting on my shelf next to my TV. It's badass. It's just cool seeing it. It's pretty damn accurate to what he's wearing. Some little things that I got to change and make more accurate, but man, it's cool. It's very cool. And I see people that have gotten my work, that enjoy my work. They get their belt and they're starting to save for another one. That means the world to me, because that means that I'm doing something right. It's not about doing it for the money. The money's cool, but it's just a passion, man. I really enjoy it. I can sit here for hours. I do sit here for hours and hours making these things. Having fun. Like I said, on to the next one. This is a better cut, much cleaner cut than my network logo. Made mistakes on here, but also made improvements. Less mistakes, more improvements, hopefully, with the tooling. Been cleaner. So keep tabs, guys. I'll be doing this pretty regularly. I got some clips of tooling that I'll post up. Some simple stuff. I'll answer questions that I can and that I feel is fair to the community. Other things, if I don't answer, it's nothing personal. Just take what I do say, and like I said earlier, practice. Practice, practice, practice. And you'll get there. And then we'll talk about it. Talk about learning that technique. Ah, shit, when it finally clicks and you finally get that spot, and man, it comes together, laugh about it. And then you'll understand 100% why not everything is given out in this industry, in this hobby. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'll be back.